Yeah.
Thanks for coming back, y'all. It's me, Maddie. Got another Monster Mondays for you here. This one's a fun one. I'm gonna be honest. It's the Flameskull. I recently ran the Amber Temple in my Curse of Strahd game with my players the other day, and I had a blast throwing these guys out there at them. They're basically almost like not a sentient, but almost there skull with green flame, swirling around itself, and it's got some lit up eyes. But basically, imagine a dead wizard that was his skull was used to basically guard some sort of temple and area, basically where wizards would hang out. You would see these guys as like guardians. That being said, let's just hop right into it with the old stat block. The funnest thing about this guy, we're going to be on D&D Beyond. Funnest thing about this guy is he's got spell slots prepared. He's got come on, we're going to look at it right here. But he's got Fireball. He's got one slot of Fireball, depending if you're running it rules as written. But he is a powerhouse. If you have him or multiple of them set as an ambush point, and you have Fireball raining down on them, that game over. It's fun. One of my players literally looked at me the other day while 3 of these were shooting from arrow slits. She looked at me and was like, "Was this supposed to be a TPK?" I was like, "No, no, it's not." But the Flameskull, I'll just read off right here. He's evil, so he's pretty bad. He's got some good arcana, some good perception, resistant to piercing, couldn't tell you why, resistant to lightning and necrotic, immune to fire, cold, and poison, condition immunities, can't be charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, or prone, which is cool. Dark vision, it's got dark vision. It's got a challenge level 4. I don't really buy that crap. One of my players was able to destroy these in one hit. And then he moved on to the third one, and that's when he got stopped. It does have magic resistance, so it basically has any advantage on saving throws. It has to go up against. So that is any magic resistance is perfect right there. He also has rejuvenation, so if he's destroyed, he'll come back, unless holy water gets sprinkled on him. Or you're able to remove the curse with a remove, but that don't worry about that. Once they're dead, just blow them up. They're dead. But here's the fun thing about him: he does have a multi attack. He can attack twice with his Fire Ray move, which is +5 to hit, range 30 feet, 3d6 fire. That's great. That's fun. You can spam that as much as you want, as long as they're within range. Or if you homebrew it, it's a 3d6, hit them twice. They've got cantrips, Mage Hand, all they need, which is pretty funny. They have, they're just a floating skull. I played them off as like a floating skull, but you heard the teeth, you heard that really bugged my players out for a minute because they didn't know what they were. And in the Amber Temple, there's this area where there's a hole in the ground leading to the lower level. And when they dropped a rock in that was lit up, it illuminated an empty room from what they could see, but what they could hear. And that really freaked them out at first, so they didn't know what was happening. And that goes on. I've said it before, but whenever you're describing a monster, don't just say, "Oh, here's his name." Just describe just a little bit of that monster. Let their imagination run with it, because me biting my teeth got my players really worried about what was down there. They thought it was ghouls, and so when they got shot with fireballs, to take the rug, take the carpet right under the whatever, just pull it out from right under them. It'll be so much fun. But he also has a couple of spells too. First level, Magic Missile, Shield. Second level, Blur, Flaming Sphere. And then third level, of course, Fireball. I'm going to recommend that you use Fireball the first time when they're all grouped up, if available. Again, they're more of ambush protectors, but use Fireball instantly to get them out of there, and then have Fire Ray just keep casting Fire Ray on his turn to keep them away. Because again, they're more of like guardians. You're not really going to see them, unless some sort of evil lich has them as bodyguards. You won't really see them that much, because again, they're like they were wizards in their lives, but they died and then they were used for evil. So it's up to you, but I definitely recommend the Flameskulls. They are a lot of fun. I had fun with them as a dungeon master. My players got a little bit worried. I don't blame them too. They're pretty scary, but definitely recommend Flameskulls. But yeah, that being said, don't tell him it's a Flameskull. You hear some, but unless it's like powered on, they don't see the green flame going on. But yeah, that's gonna cover this one. I might do Lich for the next one. I was there's a Lich in the Amber Temple, and I was role playing him, and he wasn't evil, or he was evil. He wasn't hostile. So I thought that was cool too. But I don't know what I'll do in the next one. But leave a comment down below if you want to see what's what we do for the next Monster Mondays. But hey, as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, dropping out, and zoning in on here. As always, you guys have a good one, and thank you again for being the best part of the team, y'all.